fewer things to put away. Her cupboard's drafty with potential. In the cab, Liliana Henriksen wrings her fine hands. Her 3 adult children call her the Lily when she's out of earshot, dropping the definite article in their mother's presence, worried she'll hear harshness, not respect. Even in distress, the sobriquet fits. He was on his chair, reading. I just made him a Manhattan. I barely had time to get downstairs when I heard the drink fall. My beautiful pear lutkin smashed. Damn it, Tig, I yelled, went straight to the kitchen, grabbed paper towel, a dustpan, and brush. He was just lying there. I saw spittle. Did you check his breathing? His pulse? Try CPR? I thought he'd fainted, that's all. I wanted someone stronger to help me lift him. There were splinters everywhere. You called an ambulance, right? It's on its way? Silence. Elin bites her bottom lip. I thought he'd fainted, her mother had said. Not, I think he's fainted. How long had her parents been drinking hard liquor right after lunch? What possessed her to come across town and not to a neighbor? To her. Elin pays the cab driver quickly and too generously. Her hands shake. He has overheard everything, and the way he regards her suggests he's come to a conclusion he wants to share. Cantilevered stairs lead up to the 2nd level, where her father's studio door is open. On the middle step of the final flight, Elin sees him on the floor, his head and shoulders framed by the door jamb, his cheek pressed into the hardwood so his eyes are turned toward the entrance, staring at her. His mouth is open, the lips thin and bloodless. She has kicked off her sneakers out of habit. Elin reaches for the 2nd-floor phone first and calls an ambulance. Does he have a pulse? The dispatcher asks. The phone cord stretches, but Elin can't reach. Just come. She plunks the receiver down, rushes, touches his face. It is him, and yet not. No breath, no pulse. There will be no heroics to attempt and get wrong. Had he died before her mother left the house? If not, the window of time to save him had been squandered during the cab ride to North Bremen. Or worse, what if he'd been alive right up until the instant Elin crossed the threshold? Perhaps while she made the phone call. She hadn't run to him first. That way the cab driver had looked at her. She'd averted her eyes. After the paramedics leave, there's a policeman waiting in the driveway, and her father's shrouded body is still on the floor. Elin holds her mother's sobbing shoulders. For a moment, they are hunched together on the uncomfortable teak sofa, like a violin and bow, vibrating in opposing directions. Elin can't pull her own sadness downward. It stays stuck above her clavicles. We're going to tell the policeman you stayed, okay, Mom? She whispers. Didn't hear the glass. You were doing other things when you found him and called me, and I called the ambulance. Her mother looks perplexed. Trust me, says Elin. The police officer can only be a few years older than her and looks uncomfortable. Age of your father? Elin has to think about it. 76. The officer looks up and she wants to say, yes, he'd lived most of his life by the time I was born. His other questions are brief, his interest in the death minimal, but not unkind. When the officer leaves, Elin sets her mother's bedroom up for a nap, pulling the drapes to hide the obscene twilight, blushes a fat lip. Sitting on the bed's edge, the lily's face, its argument of youth and age, is haloed in a liverish glow from the bedside lamp. Elin jiggles her mother's arm to steer her attention to the bottle of Valium she clutches like a question. Her mother's lids lift, pupils widening with girlish fright before she surrenders to her pillow, her pill. Then her jaw moves. Call the funeral home now, Elin. I don't want your brother and sister to see him like that. Elin turns the light off and listens for a second at the bedroom door to her mother's horsehair breath.